His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner from M3 Fight Fitness. Put your hands together for Ben Bonner. The referee in charge of the action will be Kyle Olson. This fight is 3 rounds in the junior division.
Okay, fighters are set.
Here we go. Second fight of the evening.
Ben Bonner in the blue corner versus Christian Flores in the red corner.
Flores fighting out of Richard Perez Boxing. Of course, Richard Perez, one of the most famous boxing coaches around. So I expect him to have decent handwork. Nice kick, trading kicks from the start. Bonner looking to fight out of the right-hand stance, the orthodox.
Interesting. Looked like he was going to jump for a guillotine there and ended up kind of getting taken down into half guard, now closed guard.
He got caught in decision, as my father would say.
Yeah.
Working out of the open guard, Bonner trying to get a hold of those wrists, control the arms. Able to get back to his feet.
Bonner rushing forward with a nice
combo. Nice kick.
Front leg side kick there.
That'll build some confidence. Bonner hit the mat after that kick.
Bonner trying to get the fight to the ground, unable to do so.
Oh, Bonner looking to jump guard again.
Looked like he had a decent guillotine in there, but he slipped out. I imagine it's going to be tough to slip out, too, with that headgear on. Bonner now working the closed guard, keeping that plumb clinch, and the posture of Flores broken.
Now, these guys are 17-year-olds. They're a couple years away from, or 17 and 16, respectively. Their next step is the amateur division, which we'll be focused on later on this evening, Camo. So this might be the last fight under these rules for both of these gentlemen.
Looked like Bonner might have taken a shot there to the face. I can't see his nose, but it looked like it was trickling a little bit. Maybe it was just a red mark, but it was awfully close to a strike to the
Flores
face.
digging to the body beautifully. Nice knee to the body as well.
Another one. Bonner trying to throw him by the head, and, in doing so, he ends up pulling Flores into mount. Flores now looking for that arm bar.
It's like he's trying to use that old snapmare technique, but
looks like he's going to go belly down with it. We'll see if he can finish with 10 seconds left. Beautiful roll.
Nice
in the
transition.
Head. Very nice. The leg comes over the head.
He's trying to soften him up to the body. Again, this is where head start. Technique is going to have to win you that arm bar. You're not going to be able to land the shots to the face. Great first round by Ben Bonner.
And a show of respect by both fighters.
And Christian Flores. How'd you have that one, Kevin?
Well, I was handed a score sheet. There's actually a way that these fights are scored, and it's very different from MMA. You actually get points. It's a point system. You actually get points for strikes, and you get points for position on the ground. So I couldn't tell you what the score is. I have to leave that to the judges because I'm too busy talking to keep track. But
yeah, unlike mixed martial arts where there are no points for defensive technique, this in the pancration rules, we're trying to teach the youth to focus on defense as well as offense. So they've set up a rewarding system where they actually get scored for effective defense, which I think is good.
Yeah, not to mention it's like a jiu-jitsu tournament or a jiu-jitsu match when the fight hits the ground. There's actually a point system there. You get 2 points for takedown, 2 for side control, 3 points if you mount, 4 to take the back. So I have to imagine that Flores is up on points at this point.
All right, getting ready for round 2. Referee Kyle Olson clears the cage, and our fighters are ready to go. Round 2.
Bonner again looking for that clinch, but Flores is happy to go there, and he seems fine in that position.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Bonner seems to just be utilizing the head for that clinch.
Headgear comes off. Now he's looking for an arm lock here, but needs to get out of half guard first.
Referee Kyle Olson letting him go because there is no risk right now. He doesn't want to stop the momentum of the fight.
Flores with double overhooks drags the fight to the ground.
Flores utilizing that Richard Perez boxing, digging to the body.
The corner of Flores wants him to spin to the back, but it looks like he's got his arm caught here. Bonner holding onto that arm, preventing him from going all the way to the back, but now he's going to step over and try anyway.
Bonner holding on to that wrist.
Yeah, Bonner needs to get out of here. He needs to peel that hand over his head and either sit back to guard or use it to stand up.
He's got 2-on-1 on that wrist and really causing some problem for Flores to get free.
And it's frustrating too because the gloves serve as kind of as a handle. When you get that 2-on-1, it's much easier to hold on to than if you didn't have them on. I'm not sure what's going on here. Perhaps he lost a mouthpiece or
headgear came off. They got to make sure his headgear gets put on properly.
But what, he is bleeding to the mouth. It looks like Bonner maybe. You see that? He's got blood coming from his nose.
Little leak.
I'm not sure how that happened.
A little bit of awesome leaking from the face of Ben Bonner.
Weird because I thought I saw that in the first round, but it actually happened here in the second. I don't know how he got bumped. I'm trying to think of where that could have happened. Maybe in the takedown, in that scramble, he got bumped.
Sorry about the delay, folks. We will be back in 1 second, just as referee Kyle Olson takes care of the cage here. We got some blood down.
Trying to stop the bleeding now of Bonner. It'd be unfortunate if they have to call this fight due to a bloody nose.
Unfortunately, in the pancreation level, the youth level, safety is not unfortunately, actually fortunately, safety is tantamount importance. And if they do decide to stop this fight right now, it's going to be because of safety comes first. The fighter safety at this level comes first, and there is no shame in that.
Yeah, it's not like amateur MMA even where if you get a bloody nose, you can keep going and it's expected, you know. In pancreation, you're not expected to bleed from the face at all. So I believe if it happens and you can't get it to stop, I would imagine they call an end to the action.
Now, how does this weigh on Christian Flores? You know, he's obviously up in the fight right now. This delay, do you think it helps him or hurts him?
It depends on how he handles cooling down because that's what's happening. He didn't seem to show any signs of fatigue, so this will probably actually hurt him because he was in a nice rhythm. And now he's going to be forced with cooling down and having to heat back up.
Coach, do you mind if I tighten the headgear down?
Ben Bonner still getting some medical attention in the corner, trying to stop the bleeding so this fight can continue. Once again, for those listening at home, watching globally, around the world, we'd like to thank the Global Combat Network, our partners over at MMA Madhouse, Skippy Cohen, Lopati. Thank you guys so much for once again running the events for us and supporting local MMA. Nobody does the job that you guys do. And also our friends at JT Media for providing you with this stream today. Ben Bonner still getting some attention in the corner. Not sure how this is going to play out, but we'll find out in a minute or two.
It's one heck of a nosebleed. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to try to plug it or if they're just trying to get it to stop bleeding.
In the immortal words of Mr. Ralphie Wiggum, the doctor told me I wouldn't get so many nosebleeds if I kept my finger out of there.
I'm being told that they get 5 minutes to try to remedy this nosebleed.
So apparently the injury timeout is very similar to the rules of mixed martial arts. They have 5 minutes to stop the bleeding, as my partner Kevin Widows just said, and I repeated.
Oh, interesting. Guillotines are illegal for everyone. So maybe that's why we saw that in the previous fight and in this fight, letting go, more or less, of the guillotine. Can't slam. Apparently slamming is a disqualification. No twisting, chokes, cranks. or leg locks. No toe holds. You can knee to the body, as we've seen in this fight, if you're 16 or 17 years old.
All right, folks.
Oh, arm in guillotine. Darce and Anaconda are legal for a schoolboy, 12 and 13 and older.
All right, Ben Bonner has controlled the bleeding where his corner has. Being sent to his corner, and Kyle Olson's going to start him back up. So we're underway, round 2. Back underway here. Big knee to the body by Flores. Bonner again grabs the head, but Flores drags him to the mat. Working out of side control here, or half guard. Now, Bonner's corner pleading with him to lock up the half guard. And he's unable to get to full guard, and now Flores working out of side control.
Yeah, Flores just seems to be all over Bonner at this point, showing nice guard passing.
Bonner is still 2-on-1 on that wrist. Gives it up.
Bonner holding onto the head here, but not really doing anything effective with it.
He might just be hoping to mitigate the punishment at this point.
Release the head, Ben.
His corner's telling him to release the head. All right, second round finished.
Flores complaining that he was going for an illegal choke, but there was no choke there. Bonner was just more or less grabbing the head and twisting it. But even that may be illegal, but it was just, there was no technique to it. He was just grabbing on.
Well, I believe neck cranks are illegal.
Yes. Anything, twisting, chokes, cranks are illegal.
All right, seconds being told to leave the cage. Kyle Olson getting ready to start the third and final round. Christian Flores and Ben Bonner are about to finish up their scrap here at SparStar MMA Youth Pancration.
Nice spinning back kick from Flores here. Bonner keeps looking for that clinch. He just grabs onto the head, but doesn't seem to do anything with it. Flores now taking the fight to the ground.
Referee calling time so he can put his headgear back on. You know, the way Bonner controls the head, I can't help but feel that perhaps his go-to move is the guillotine. He seems to go for that head every single time and then readjust after he has it, realizing that he can't use that maneuver.
And now it looks like the headgear may be
Snapped.
broken.
We got another delay here. Sorry about that.
Anthony Calix now applying some tape to the headgear, going to try to get it back in working order so we can finish up this fight.
You never know what's going to happen at youth pancration events. When you have that much equipment on, you're going to have equipment errors, equipment malfunctions. Please bear with us for those watching at home. Hopefully this will be the last delay. All right, Kyle Olson seems satisfied with the tape job on Mr. Flores' headgear.
They're going to start him on the feet, which he was not in mount, he was in guard. He was in guard. Larry Landless calling for the mount position. Sorry about screaming in your ear, folks, but they were going to restart in mount. I don't know why we're in half guard. I believe he was in the closed guard, if my memory serves.
Lock your legs! Lock your legs! Lock your legs! There you go. Okay, stay there. Get your 3 points. Be on belly.
All right, we're back underway. Flores working out of side control. Jonathan King from the clinch report and Kevin Widows, my broadcasting partner, calling the action for the SparStar MMA Youth Pancration event, brought to you by JT Media. And Mr. Flores landing some heavy shots to the midsection of Ben Bonner. Bonner trying to fish his way out of trouble. Flores looks to have the arm here, Kevin.
It's in deep. Bonner doing a nice job of defending as much as he can here by crossing his arm. He's going to try to jump over the legs.
Flores looking to go belly down, perhaps.
It's going to be tough for Flores to finish from here. But Bonner needs to get to his knees and start putting weight on Flores.
Flores has one arm through the crux of the elbow, and he's landing right hands to the midsection.
Try to roll him on back over, and he does. Bonner now going over an inverted triangle out of a defensive effort. Headgear is going to aid him in that.
He won't be able to lock anything up there, though, will he?
No, there's no finish from where he is, but he can prevent Flores from finishing the arm.
Oh, now Bonner doing a nice job sweeping. He's going to end up on top.
Round and round we go. Flores now back again. Bonner showing his flexibility with that upside down inverted triangle.
A little bit of a seesaw grappling match to end the fight. Great fight between Ben Bonner and Christian Flores.
Yeah, that one's going to go to Flores on the scorecards. Jonathan King will enter into the cage now for the official decision with an Altoid for the road. Little Tribe Called Quest being pumped into the sound system. R.I.P. to Fife Dog, recently passed away, unfortunately. The young age of 45, I believe. For those hip-hop heads listening on the live stream around the world and around the country.
For these two young men. Our judges have rendered their decision. Your winner, by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Christian Flores.